Hi folks, we're back with Horace Odes 1-4. We've read the first 8 lines together, and we are given lovely signs of spring all around. The sharp winter is being broken up. The ships are heading back into the water. The herds are coming out of their stables. The uh, plowman or the farmer is no longer needs to sit by his fire, and the snows are going away. On the divine plane, Venus is leading her choruses under the overhanging moon. And the Graces are dancing, and Vulcan is making the rounds of the forges. And we continue in this happy mode for the third stanza. Again, before we dive in, please make very liberal use of the notes as indicated by the blue underlined words here. Garrison gives a lot of good explanation about what's happening. Do notice nunc, nunc, and then we get yam down here, and we get a mox down here. So very much expressing immediacy, as I mentioned before, in much the same way as Catullus did in 46 with his repetition of yam. Okay, so what should we do now with all this spring happening around us? Well, we should crown ourselves. Um, we should sacrifice to Faunus. Um, and this last line of that stanza 12 is pretty tricky. We've got subjunctives, deliberative subjunctives here. It's fitting to sacrifice to Faunus whether he should demand a agna or should he prefer a haido, is the sense there. Again, look at the notes that will help you through. These verbs, poscat and mallet, really pick up immolare, can resupply immolare with each of them. So a happy first 3 stanzas, and then in very Horatian style, his thoughts turn from life to death very quickly. Polydamors. This is a beautiful line and a beautiful couplet here, um, indicating in very concise terms the indiscriminate nature of death. Death pulsat pede, I'm going to read this line to you. Pallida morsai quo pulsat pede pauperum tabernas. Beautiful. Death comes to the houses of the poor and the rich alike. Regum quaeturis. And he addresses this man named Cestius, who was a prominent Roman figure, a good friend of Augustus's. After being pardoned from having been proscripted, he served on the side of Brutus against Octavian, but later was pardoned and became a close advisor of Augustus's. In the second part of the stanza, we move to that familiar carpe diem theme. Summa brevis vitae, life's brief extent. Vetat nos, forbids us from incohade. Right, we would say from doing something. They use the infinitive. From incohade spem longam. Yam nox, this is the night of death, and the fabled shades, these are the shades of the underworld, te premet. And so does the domus exilis plutonia. Those are all nominative. Exilis, I believe in the text you have, I've marked those long, those are actually short, those are nominative singulars. The meager home of Pluto, that is the underworld. Quosimo mearis, it's a funny word, meare, just means to go, come or go. You can translate according to the note here. As soon as you get there, meaning the underworld, you will no longer be called upon to be the magister bibendi, the one who presides at a wine drinking party, nor will you marvel at liquidas. This is accusative, a Greek accusative. Tenerum liquidon. Quo here is a little tricky. I call this an ablative of cause, because of whom. Juventus, omnis Juventus, every youth, nunc, there's another now word, and soon the virgines tepebunt. So because of whom every youth calet, and soon every maiden will tepebunt. Okay, Again, particularly in this last stanza, the notes are really going to help you make heads and tails of this. Beautiful poem, interesting, thoughtful, profound in the Horatian way. Enjoy, do your best with these three stanzas, and we will reconvene on Monday. Have a nice weekend.